All right, Flaunters, we are going to be doing a beginner's conditioning class. Prepare to sweat and feel the burn. Make sure you head over to the warm-up section, choose one of the warm-ups. In this class, we are going to be focusing on workouts that are going to help you with your climbing, your inverting, and your shoulder mounts. Prepare to sweat and feel the burn. Don't forget to head over to the warm-up section because you want to make sure that your muscles are warm and ready to work. So for our first exercise, we want to make sure that our feet are as close to the base as possible. We are going to grab the pole in a true grip. Now, the higher your hand is, the less challenging this workout will be. So if you really want to feel the burn, you'll drop your hand and have it shoulder height. For me, I'm going to have my hand in the middle. I don't want to feel the burn too much yet. So from here, hands on your hip. Make sure that you're squeezing the butt, pushing the hips forward, core engaged, and we're leaning out and pulling our body in. So we're doing 10 reps on each side. Ooh, you should be feeling the burn already. Now let's head over to the other side. We want our feet as close to the base as possible, hands shoulder height or a little higher, hand on your hip, squeezing those glutes, core engaged, and begin 10 reps. So for our second exercise, we are going to go into our bracket hold, and we're going to be flexing and pointing our feet. This is going to help us build strength before we start doing the bracket climb. So you want your outside hand completely extended, opposite hand. You want to make sure that your hand is eye level. Elbow goes across the pole and we're pushing into the pole. If you feel like your shoulder is resting on your ear or that your neck is a little squished, that means you're not engaged enough. So you want to push away so that you can drive that shoulder down. So this is what it's like. Hand is eye level, elbow goes across the pole. I'm pushing away, driving the shoulder down. Now I'm on my tippy toes. What I'm going to do is flex and drop. Flex and drop. So we're doing 10 reps. Now let's head over to the other side. We're getting into position and 10 reps. By now, you should definitely be starting to feel the burn. So now our next exercise is going to focus on building our core strength for our inversions. So exercise number 3 are our knee tucks. So for this exercise, we want to make sure hips are in front of the pole. We have our inside arm on the bottom, outside arm on top. Squeezing the pole with your armpit, and we're going to be pushing the pole down into the ground to assist us with bringing our knees up. So once you're in position, you want to do a test to make sure that your arms are not too high. So if your bicep is covering your chin, then you know that you're too high. So you want to bring it down so that your chin is exposed. From here, we're squeezing again, driving the pole down into the ground and bringing our knees up. So now we're doing 10 reps. Phew. Now I know we all have a preferred side, but it's super important in pole to always practice all the skills and exercises on both sides. You don't want to have lobster arms, do you? I didn't think so. So now we're going to the other side. Getting into position and 10 reps. Now we're taking it down to the floor. This is another exercise to help us with strengthening our core to prepare for inversions. So have a seat in front of your pole, then we're going to lay down. We want to make sure that we're not too far away because we don't want our arms extended. We want there to be a 90-degree bend at our elbows. We're bending our knees, and from here, we're going to engage our core, trying to bring our knees as close to the pole as possible for each repetition. So flaunters, another thing to keep in mind for this exercise, you want to make sure that the descent is slow and controlled. Do not just bring your knees up and then drop so that you can get right into the next rep. Make sure once you bring your knees as high as you can, you're also dropping as slow as you can, toes touch the floor, and then you repeat. Phew! By now, you should be just as sweaty as I am. So for our last exercise, we're going to do one that's going to help us build strength for our shoulder mount. So we want to make sure our back is against the pole. And since I'm using my means I'm going to have my left hand on the bottom. Opposite hand goes on top. From here, my feet are apart. I'm going to drive my hips up and making sure to keep my elbows as close together as possible. So I'm driving hips up, elbows close, and I'm holding this position for 10 seconds. And release. And now for the other side. Going on to the other shoulder, elbows in, feet apart, driving my hips up, squeezing my butt, engaging my glutes. If you find yourself fidgeting and sliding when you're doing this skill, just know that that's very, very common, especially in the beginning when you're first learning. So it's best that you sit, reposition yourself, and start over. All right, flaunters, great job completing this conditioning class. Now, I know pole conditioning isn't the most fun part of pole dancing, but it's actually super necessary if you want to keep progressing and building strength to learn new skills. You're probably wondering how often you should be pole conditioning. Well, you definitely want to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week if you want to see rapid progress. Even if you can't do a whole class or a whole 25 to 30 minutes of pole conditioning, choose some of the exercises. And before you put on your heels and you get ready to do one of the routines in the Fit to Plant app, squeeze some of the pole conditioning exercises in. Choose 3 or 4 of them and knock them out. The more you condition, the faster you'll build your strength and progress.